In the diagram, PQRS is a square. Square PQRS is divided into 5 rectangles as shown. The area of the shaded rectangle is. All right, PQRS is a square, so that means all sides are the same. This side, they give you the full length, 2 and 9, so that means the full side is 11. So if the full side of the square is 11, and that's 8 right there, then that must mean this is 3. And this is 3. All right, let's see what else. This whole side is 11, but this is 10, so that must mean that this little guy is 1. So that's 1 right there. And since that from there to there is 8, and that is 1, that must mean from here to here is 7. And similarly, from here to here is 6, but from here to here is 2, so that must mean from here to here is 4. And that's it. That's all we need to calculate the area of the shaded region. Area of the shaded region is just length times width, so that's going to be 7 times 4, and that is 28. So number 10, the answer is B. A rectangular sheet of paper has measurements of 25 by 9, the dimensions of a square sheet of paper with the same area are. This, let's say, is our rectangle, and it's 25 by 9. And they want you to figure out the area, first of all. That's going to help you. So 25 times 9, of course, is the area, and that is 225. And then you've got the square that has the same area. So it has sides x and x, let's say. Square, obviously, as you know, has equal sides. And its area is 225, the same area as the rectangle. So that means that x squared is 225. That's how you find the area of a square. You multiply one side by the other. So this is what we have to solve. If you take the square root of both sides, you get x equal to 15. And therefore, this is a 15 by 15 square. And of the answer choices, that would be choice A for number 7. In the diagram, rectangle PQRS has PQ equals 30, and rectangle WXYZ has ZY equal to 15. If S is on WX and X is on SR, so that SX is 10, then WR is equal to. Well, SX is 10 right here, and therefore, if this is 30 and this is 10, then this XR must be 20. And then in a very similar way, if this is 10 and this is 15, then this little guy, WS, must be 5. So they want WR. Well, WR is all the way from W to R, which would be 5 plus 10 plus 20, and therefore that makes WR equal to 35. So number 5, the answer is E. If x is 3, what is the perimeter of the figure shown? Well, the perimeter right now is x plus 1 plus x plus 6 plus 10. Since x is 3, substitute that in, and you'll get 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 6 plus 10. And when you add up all these numbers, you get 23. So, number 4, the answer is A. The rectangle shown has sides length of 8 and 4. The area of the shaded region is. This question you can easily sort of figure out by just drawing a line from there to there. And then noticing that what we've really done is just taken each of these rectangles and then cut them in half. Same thing with this one here. We've taken that rectangle and just cut it in half, because if you notice, the line goes all the way from one corner to the other. So what that really means is that the shaded region is really just half of the total region, because if you just looked at that rectangle, this shaded region is just half of that rectangle. If you look at this rectangle, this shaded region is half of that. So all I have to do to figure out the total shaded region is figure out the total area and then divide by 2. So that would be 8 times 4. That's the total area. And then divide by 2. That's the area of the shaded region, AS. So 8 times 4 is 32, and then divided by 2 is 16. So number 10, the answer is B. PQRS is a square. The midpoint of PQ is M, and the midpoint of RS is N. If the perimeter of rectangle PMNS is 36, the area of the square is PQRS, the midpoint of PQ is M, and the midpoint of RS is N. And now we have to figure out a few things here. So first let's join M to N. And they're saying that that perimeter of PMNS is 36. Okay, well, it's a square, so all the sides are the same. So this is x, this is x, this would be 2x, right? All the sides have to be the same. And then the distance from M to N is also going to be 2x. So the perimeter of PMNS is 36. And in terms of the labeling here, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6x is 36. So x is 6. So if x is 6, that means 2x is 12. So the side of the square is 12. The area of that big square is going to be the side of the square times the side of the square. And that's 144. So number 10, the answer is D. These points, P, Q, R, and S form a rectangle. What are the coordinates of S? All right, so let's plot these and see what kind of a coordinate we get. So P would be 3, negative 2. So let's see here, approximately here. This will be P. And then Q, 3, 1. So approximately here for Q. R, 7, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7, 1. So here's R. And now obviously the coordinates of that S most likely are here to make it a rectangle. And that rectangle, of course, would be something like this, right? If those points were joined like that. All right, well, P was 3, negative 2. And therefore, since S would have the same y coordinate, this would be negative 2 in terms of its y coordinate. R was 7, 1. And then S would have the same x coordinate, so that would be 7. So the coordinates of S would be 7 and negative 2. So number 5, the answer is B. Five identical squares form a rectangle PQRS. As shown, the perimeter of the rectangle PQRS is 48. What is the area? Well, label them x, x, x like that. They're squares, right? So they're identical on all four sides like that. And then the perimeter, if we add up all the x's that I just wrote in, it's 12x, right? So that's the perimeter. And they told me the perimeter is 48, so that means 12x is equal to 48. And therefore x is equal to 4. So now they want me to figure out the area. The area is going to be length times width. Well, the width is just x. The length, which is all the way from there to there, is 5x. So we have 5x squared. So 5 times 4 squared, that's 5 times 16, which is 80. So the area is 80. Number 7, therefore, is C. In the diagram, PQRS is a square, and M is the midpoint of PQ. The area of triangle MQR is 100. The area of square PQRS is... Well, let's label this 2x, and since M is the midpoint, MQ will be x. Now they told me MQR is 100, this triangle. So the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, which would be 2x times x, and that's 100. So this means that x squared is 100. The area of the square is 2x times 2x, and that is 4x squared. X squared we just figured out was 100, so therefore that is 400. So number 5, the answer is D. In the diagram, PQR has a right angle at Q. A square is drawn on each side of the triangle. The area of the square on side QR is 144. The area of the square on side PR is 169. What is the area of the square on side PQ? All right, nice Pythagorean relationship here. A square, of course, has sides that are all the same. So if 169 is the area, that means 169 is equal to x squared. And therefore x is 13. So there we go, 13 right there. In a very similar way, that square, if it has side length y, y squared is 144. So y is the square root of 144, which is 12. So 12 goes right here. So now we just have to figure out PQ, no problem. Using Pythagoras, PQ squared plus 12 squared is 13 squared. That means PQ squared is 169 minus 144, which is 25, and therefore PQ is 5. So put a little 5 there. And then they want the area of that square. Well, the area is going to be 5 times 5, and that is 25. So number 9, the answer is E.